Hey students, this is Ambika, your biology master teacher here at Vedantu. I hope all of you are staying safe and taking all necessary precautions to, prevent and avoid the spread of the coronavirus. Let's hope that this pandemic will come to an end very soon and that all of us will be able to get back to normal life very soon. But anyway, in the meantime, let's keep learning, right? At Vedantu, as you all know, we strongly believe that learning never ends, learning never stops. So let's make the full use of the time that's been given to us now, the time that we have now in this lockdown and keep learning new things. So, today in this career counseling session, I would like to talk to you about one career which is perhaps less known among Indian children. Of course, these days, all of you have access to a lot of sources which give you all possible options, which possibly list out everything that's available in front of you. But then, marine biologist, I must say, is not something that every Indian child may know about. And I'm telling you this because I myself am a postgraduate in marine biology. And because of that, I can confidently tell you that this is definitely an amazing field of science if you have the passion for it, if you have the love and interest for it. So, anyway, doesn't matter if you don't know much about it. As long as you want to know and explore more about it, that's all that matters. And today, I'm here to tell you a little bit about what I know from my experience about being a marine biologist and how to become one. Okay, so let's get started. Here we go. Yes, first of all, for those of you who are totally blank about this, what is marine biology? Okay, of course, it's a science, it's a branch of biology, but we can formally define it like I have written here, a scientific discipline that deals with all types of sea creatures or marine bodies of water. Now, as you know, as perhaps most of you know, water bodies can either be freshwater or it can be marine salt water. Salt water is what we call marine water. It can be, so basically, I'm trying to tell you it can be either a freshwater environment, it can be a marine environment, or it could be a mix of both, which is what we call estuarine or brackish water environments, right? So, being a marine biologist is mostly about dealing with oceans and a lot of these associated saltwater bodies. What is so special about it? If you just explore a little more about that, you would definitely fall in love with it. Trust me on that. Now, let's understand more about the basics. What else does it do? This branch of science studies various life forms in the ocean and their behavior and interactions with each other and the environment. The ocean is not just the ocean, right? Just delve deeper into it, go deeper into the ocean, go deeper into the sea, and you will find a whole new world that's there. Right. So, those of you who've been on holidays where you can go scuba diving and all that would definitely have seen this, would definitely understand what I'm talking about. Maybe many of us have not got that opportunity. But even then, if you are an animal lover, if you are a biology lover, I'm sure you would have seen a lot of these videos online or even on Discovery and Animal Planet and all those television channels, right? So, anyway, marine biology is not just one subject, it's in fact like any other branch of life science, it consists of various sub-disciplines, which is taxonomy, which is basically the study of classification of all living organisms, and then planktonology. Planktonology, especially, comes as part of only marine biology or only as part of a branch of science which deals with aquatic environment. Plankton is a group of tiny microscopic organisms which can be found floating on water. Okay, and then there's fisheries, there's marine biotechnology, and a lot more under the aspect of marine biology. Okay, so that's about the basics of what marine biology is. Let's check out more about it. Now, the first question in mind, what stream do I choose in class 11 and 12 if I want to become a marine biologist? The three major options you have in front of you would be arts, science, and commerce. But of course, for any career in biology, you will have to pick up science, and that too, you will have to pick up biology for sure. right? Okay, so science with biology, which means either PCB. If you like math also, you could opt for PCMB, or you could opt for anything else which has biology as a compulsory subject in your 11th and 12th, or pre-university as some states in India call it. Okay, so that's about your stream in class 11th and 12th. And yes, children, as I was telling you, it's very, very, very important to stay indoors and stay safe during this corona outbreak. And Vedantu, as all of you must be aware, Vedantu has been working very, very hard. All of us here at Vedantu have been working very, very hard to ensure that your learning doesn't end, especially in the student community, especially children who've just completed 10th or who've just completed 12th. We know it's a very, very crucial phase of your life, right? Some of you have not been able to complete your board exams because many exams got postponed because of the lockdown, right? We understand that the student community as such is affected overall. So not to worry at all until the world gets back to normal. Let's give it some time. Let's understand and accept the fact that online learning is always a very, very, very safe option. So learning never ends, and Vedantu is always committed to help parents and students, realize their dream and realize their full potential. Okay, so do make use of this chance, this opportunity, and do spread word around so that your friends can also benefit from Vedantu's amazing courses. Okay, guys. Yes. So now, what to pursue after class 12? Class 12, we've seen PCB or PCMB, anything, any branch of science, any stream of science which has biology as an option. Right. Now, what to pursue after class 12? What do I do? Is it a BSc Marine Biology? Yes, some colleges do have a BSc course in Marine Biology, which is typically like any other BSc course or a basic Bachelor of Science course in India. It would be for a duration of 3 years. And the eligibility for this would be 10 plus 2, which means plus 2 level education, which means still your class 12. Class 12 pass, you should be a class 12 pass out to pursue a BSc course. Okay, and not just any class 12 pass out, as I told you earlier, biology has to be one of your compulsory subjects. And BSc in any life sciences is also an option. I put that there because I myself, after my 12th, I picked up BSc in zoology. I was very, very confused what to pick up because after 12th, I was very clear that I wanted a career in life science. I wanted a career in biology, but what in it? Should I go ahead and pursue BSc in biotech? Should I go ahead and pursue BSc in microbiology, genetics, or anything else? Medical microbiology, medical genetics, and so on and on and on. Options are like plenty in front of you if you decide to have your career in biology, right? So I was so damn confused. That is when one of my family friends, she was a teacher. She was a biology teacher at that point of time, and I spoke to her by chance, and then she told me, you would have a lot of interests if biology is your favorite subject. Anything and everything you read up related to sub branches of biology would seem very exciting for you. But then let's do this. Pick up either BSc in zoology or BSc in botany. Okay, safest. Because after that, by the time you complete your 3 years of bachelor's, you would be in a much clearer position. You would be in a much better position to decide for yourself what should your post graduation or your further specialization be in. A lot more options you would realize after your BSc, or at least in your final year of BSc, that there are a lot more newer options which are becoming much more popular in the world. Okay, so that is how I went ahead and confidently picked up BSc zoology. Between botany and zoology, I always have a preference for zoology personally, so I picked up BSc in zoology. When I came to my final year of BSc, just like many of my friends, towards the end of the final year, we went ahead and wrote entrance exams for various universities for BSc biotech admission, BSc, MSc biotech admission, MSc genetics admission, and so on and on and on. There was also one university where I went and wrote the entrance test, and based on your rank, you would be able to get into either biotech, marine biology, or a few other courses that were listed. Okay, so I will tell you the rest of that story in a bit. But hold on. So here we go. After your BSc, whatever, if it's BSc Marine Biology or if it's BSc in Zoology or Botany, whatever it is, once your BSc is done, what next? You go ahead and join MSc, your master's degree, Master of Science in Marine Biology, which is for a duration of 2 years. So the eligibility for that is bachelor's degree in any life sciences. As I said, BSc in zoology, BSc in botany, or BSc in I think even biotech. I had some friends in my MSc class who had completed their BSc in biotech and BSc in a few other subjects also, who were eligible to get into marine biology MSc course. So that is also an option. And then after MSc, you could even go ahead and pursue an MPhil, which is Master of Philosophy, which is again for 2 years. And most of my friends after MSc, some of them picked up, yes, MPhil. Some of them picked up, they went and registered for a PhD, which is what Doctor of Philosophy is. The PhD would be in specific areas, very, very, very specific areas, right? So basically, you're getting into the research line. If you want to become a professor or if you want to become a college lecturer, MPhil and PhD are definitely very, very good options for you. Okay, so PhD typically in India, it takes roughly between 3 to 5 years duration. It could take even longer than that, depending on a lot of things, depending on a lot of factors. So I do not want to go into those details now, but on an average, 3 to 5 years is usually what PhD in life sciences or PhD in specific areas, specific branches of life sciences normally takes. Okay, so eligibility, as you can see here, for MPhil and for PhD, eligibility is a master's degree, which is MSc in marine biology. Okay, and now what next? Yes, what are the tests that I can appear in? That's another question that could possibly be in your mind. Entrance examinations for various bachelor's or master's admission, master's degree admission at your university of interest. Entrance examinations. Also, do note what I've written in this box for you. Admission into BSc courses in India is usually based on your 12th standard marks, especially your science marks average, especially more importantly your biology marks. Okay, but then there could also be certain top universities in the country who may want to conduct their own independent entrance test. Okay, so that depends on where you want to pursue your course, where you want to pursue your studies. And then after this, post getting admission into a good college, what is next? CSIR, UGC NET. I'm not sure how many of you would be aware of that. People who want a career in research, people who want a career in the top research labs across India, or people who want to make their career as a professor in universities in India, should definitely take up the CSIR UGC NET exam. Okay, so it's an exam which is combinedly conducted by CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, and UGC, which is University Grants Commission. And the expansion of NET is National Eligibility Test. The eligibility that you're getting for is either to enroll for a PhD or to get into lectureship. Okay, so there is, I think, as I understand, there is an upper age limit for getting into a PhD when you want to get through CSIR NET, but for lectureship, there is no upper age limit. Okay, so CSIR UGC NET in life sciences. Life sciences would be the paper that you have to opt for, which would enable you to get into PhD admission into some of the best labs across India after your master's degree. Okay, and then there's IISc PhD admission test. IISc, which is Indian Institute of Science, which has its branches in some of the major cities in India. Bangalore is one among them. Can also be a good option for you after you complete your master's degree. Okay, so which means after your MSc in marine biology, for a PhD, you could get into IISc provided you score very well for their IISc PhD admission test. And then there's also GATE. Okay, so GATE exam is perhaps something that's quite popular in India, but I myself, let me tell you this, until I reached my MSc, I wasn't aware that GATE could also be written by you. Being a master of science student, you could also appear in GATE. GATE is an option, which is something I wasn't much aware about. I was thinking somehow at the back of my mind that only engineering graduates could be eligible to write GATE. But then you can also do it even if you are an MSc student, because that can also, just like CSIR net, GATE exam can also give you admission into some of the top labs in India, for your PhD admission. Okay, so that's about the major tests that you can take. Okay, now before we proceed, let me tell you this also, children. Vedantu 9 and 10 is one of our very, very popular YouTube channels, but we also have an amazing YouTube channel, which is V Biotonic, which in which Vani ma'am, Dr. Vani Sood, many of you may know her. She's a very, very popular and a very experienced teacher. Vani ma'am, these days, especially in the lockdown, to give you a little more information before you choose your career in biology, it's very, very important that you choose your path right, right? So Vani ma'am tells you 10 things to know before choosing biology. So definitely do subscribe to the channel V Biotonic so that you can learn a lot of things from Vani ma'am in the days to come and ensure that the pathway that you desire to be in is definitely on the right track. Okay. Now, being a marine biologist, what else can you do? What are the career options that you have? Okay, I've done my BSc, I've done my MSc, I've probably done my PhD also. Okay, what are the career options? What can I look forward to? Where can I work? Career options. Of course, you can become a researcher or a scientist. As I said, that's definitely one of the most popular options out there for people who have a specialization in marine biology. Or, as I said, people who have an inclination for teaching can get into the role of a professor also, right? And then super specializations, as I said, you can be a marine ecologist. Ecologist is a scientist who would, take care of or study more about ecology, the environment as such, various aspects of ecology, right? Marine ecologist is somebody who would study a lot about the marine aspects of ecology. Okay, and then marine biotechnologist, underwater, under the sea, under the ocean. What are the options that you can pick up? I think Amritsar has already told you about how to become a biotechnologist, and what is it that you can look forward to when you become a biotechnologist. So there, I'm assuming you would have got some idea about what biotechnology is about. It makes use of the applications of various branches of life sciences so that mankind can be benefited, right? A lot of exciting applications. So marine biotechnologist is somebody who specializes in aspects of biotechnology, especially in the marine environment. Okay, and then marine microbiologist. Microbiologist is somebody who studies microorganisms. Marine microbiologist obviously would be somebody who studies microorganisms in marine environments, in the ocean, in the sea, and so on. Outside India, there are also exciting options like being an aquatic veterinarian, veterinary doctor, a vet as we like to call it lovingly, a vet or a veterinarian is a doctor who would specialize in animals, right? A doctor, an animal doctor, basically, to put it in simple words. And an aquatic veterinarian would definitely be in demand, especially outside India, if you are very, very passionate about treating animals which are underwater, which live underwater. And then even like marine policy experts and so on would be, preferably they should have a degree or a postgraduate degree in marine biology. Okay, so these are some of the options that you can have with a post graduation in marine biology, or furthermore with an MPhil or a PhD in marine biology. Oh, by the way, let me add this also. I did my MSc in marine biology, as I was saying, and I did it from my hometown in Cochin in Kerala. And after that, like many of my friends, I also wanted to get into research. So I also began exploring a lot of options. I appeared for CSIR net, once, and I appeared for the GATE exam also. CSIR NET, I did not qualify in the first attempt. GATE exam, I appeared twice for it actually, and both times I did qualify. Second time I appeared because the first one had expired, but then somehow I think now when I think back, I know that my inclination was still into teaching, much more than getting into research, which is probably why, in spite of qualifying the GATE exam, I did not try to get into a PhD anywhere. Of course, even in future, provided I get a chance, I would definitely like to pursue a PhD in marine biology because it's a very, very exciting science. But then, for me, primary love is always teaching. So teaching, a teacher, being a biology teacher is also definitely an option in front of you if you are very, very passionate about biology as such. Okay. And now, what are the different workplaces? We've seen the different career options. What are the different workplaces that you can possibly consider? Of course, university research laboratories across India and even outside India. I have a lot of seniors and a lot of my friends, batchmates, who are into very, very exciting roles in research labs. You could also get into private research companies, you could get into government research labs, or you could even get into international marine research institutes, which can, beyond doubt, give you a world class experience and world class hands on experience, I must say, and a lot of better insights into this amazing branch of science. Okay, and of course, as I said, universities can also be an option as a workplace for those of you with an inclination towards teaching, or like me, something that's none of these, right? You can be a teacher at an amazing place like Vedantu or any other amazing place. That is also another option. Okay, so yes. And now, perhaps some of you, I've been telling you a lot about the top research labs across India, right? So, which is why I decided to list out some of these top marine research labs in India and abroad. Some of them are CMFRI, Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute. Of course, these have a lot of branches. If you actually go to each of their websites and official websites and look for where they are, all of these, especially those which are present, which are found in India, okay, CMFRI, NIO, SIFT, SIBA, these are the labs which are in India, in my list, in this list of mine. These are the Indian marine research labs. All of these have their branches in different coastal cities across the country, coastal states across the country, like Kerala, or it could be Vizag in, it could be, I mean, in Cochin in Kerala, or Vizag, it could be Mumbai, it could be Gujarat, it could be Goa. It's mainly in all these places that you would find branches of most of these institutes and labs. Okay. So CMFRI, National Institute of Oceanography, Central Institute of Fisheries Technology, Central Institute of Brackish Water Aquaculture, all of these are just examples. There are still a lot more, but these are usually the most popular ones. Okay, and then foreign or abroad also, outside India also, you have a lot of very popular ones. Two of them I thought would be worth mentioning. One is Scripps Institute of Oceanography in California, the United States, and there's also the Australian Institute of Marine Science, of course. Marine biology, to learn more about marine biology, Australia, beyond doubt, is an amazing country because, of course, it's an island by itself, and within it, like in Queensland, you have those amazing coral reefs and all that. To study more about that, I think Australian Institute of Marine Science and many other institutes in Australia would also be great options. Okay, now, what about the salary package? We've studied all this, we get into a job. What is the kind of salary that I can expect? In government roles, it is definitely as per government norms, okay? Depending on what role you are in. Depending on whether you are a postgraduate or whether you are a research scientist with a PhD or whether you are an assistant professor or an associate professor or a professor, whatever grade you are in, the government has fixed scales for each position, for each grade, right? So that's why I've just mentioned as per government norms. Whereas in the private sector, it can greatly vary, but approximately It can be between 3 to 4 lakhs per annum as an average for beginners, fresh pass outs. If you are just out of college, just completed your MSc as a research assistant, or if you've just completed your PhD, also for that matter, as a research assistant in the private sector, starting could be around this much. Okay, this is currently okay. This will definitely change. This will definitely increase by the time you guys reach that level, because you still have a few more years down the lane to reach that position. And as I mentioned here, it can be much higher for very, very highly skilled and experienced individuals. Okay. And as I've said here, skilled and passionate individuals can also find great opportunities abroad. Now, let me tell you, when I was doing my MSc, we had some very, very good professors who were teaching us in the Department of Marine Biology. So there we've been lucky enough to witness some of the amazing research work also that they have been into. At the same time, they also come and teach us MSc students. So all of them are basically scientists, but then they wanted to be part of a university and be there as a PhD guide for research students, and also be there to guide MSc students like us. So some of them I still remember. One of our professors, Dr. Hatta, he was even part of amazing projects across India. He was part of some amazing expeditions, marine expeditions, in which he got to visit with the team. He got to go to Norway, and he got to go to the Arctic Pole and study more about it. So a lot of these scientists, passionate and experienced scientists, can have a lot of amazing opportunity and hands-on experience in a lot of such things that perhaps no other branch of science can, even let you imagine about. So that is definitely one advantage of all these. Yes. So let me also tell you this, children. Vedantu has had some amazing results. As you can see, JEE Advanced 2019. We've seen three of our students in the top 50 all across categories. As you can see, Chirag, Rajdeep, and Sumit have done us proud, have done Vedantu proud, have done themselves and their families proud. So definitely, they are a very, very good inspiration to all of you. कौन बोला घर से ना हो पाएगा, right? Let all of us believe in that and definitely take inspiration from them. Do not worry too much about the current situation in the world. Let us just go ahead and do our part, right? Okay. Now, okay, very, very important. Top colleges in India that offer courses in marine biology. First off, I wanted to mention the college where I studied, Cochin University of Science and Technology, Kerala. Okay, Cochin is the city, is my native city in Kerala, also called Ernakulam, and it's a coastal city, of course. And there we have an amazing university called CUSAT, abbreviated as CUSAT. It's Cochin University of Science and Technology, and they have a separate School of Marine Sciences campus. Luckily for me, that was like 2 minutes at a walking distance from my house. So I just had to walk every day to and from college. That was very, very close to me. And then there are also others in different other. Look at this. As I said, most of them would be in Karnataka, Vishakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh University, and then Annamalai University in Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry University, Pondicherry, and then Andhra Pradesh, like Vizag, and then Surat. All of these are examples of places where they can afford to have a marine sciences campus because they are in coastal locations. Okay. All right. This is just to give you an idea. You can find more also. These are some of the top colleges in India. All right. And now coming to the future prospects. Now, as I say, passionate and enthusiastic scientists, whatever branch you may be in, passionate and enthusiastic scientists are always in demand across the world, beyond doubt. Main areas of demand in marine biology would be drug development from marine organisms, and then there's taxonomy, and then there's production of food and medical resources from the ocean, marine biotechnology, as I told you earlier, and even wildlife conservation. What wildlife am I talking about? Of course, all those marine creatures, sea creatures, and conservation of coral reefs, and all of those. And there are, beyond doubt, immense prospects abroad. All you have to do is study at the right university, get your PhD under a very, very good guide, very, very responsible and reliable guide, whether it's in India or abroad, and get into the best place, whether it's in India or abroad, get into the best country, be in the best country, whatever suits you, because everyone's strengths and weaknesses are different. Just because somebody enrolled there, you don't have to enroll there. Or just because somebody went to the United States, you don't have to go to the United States. Just listen to your heart. What is it that you want as a marine biologist? Understand that, understand the core of that, and then proceed. Okay? Yes, and get inspired. Very important, especially when it's a branch of science that you want to specialize in. Anything, just read up or watch videos about it. Watch different channels online, different channels on television, National Geographic or Animal Planet or Discovery. You even have a lot of amazing publications, e-books also. Everything is available these days at your fingertips, right? Just read up a lot about it. I have put kids' books here for you because personally I still like reading kids books, especially when it's like gives you colorful pictures of plants and animals and all that. Perhaps I would buy it with the excuse of buying it for my child, but I perhaps may be more interested than her to read through all this. Anything, it doesn't matter what age group it is. And personally, I even like watching cartoons like SpongeBob. You know what the beauty is about these cartoons like SpongeBob, which comes on one of the popular cartoon channels. This, yes, my daughter is also a fan of this, but I was a fan of this even before she was born. But the beauty about these is that everything is taken care of to the dot. There, you would find no content error in cartoons like these. By which I mean, SpongeBob is basically a marine organism belonging to the group of sponges, the phylum Porifera, and then the co-animals who live with him. There could be many different organisms. There are many different. If you're interested, you could just go ahead and watch one episode of it. They clearly give you an idea about what marine life is like. Okay, it's nice to imagine that marine life can be so cute and colorful. Perhaps it is, we never know. But anyway, just to give you inspiration, I put all that. And yes, coming to some serious matter, there's a book called Marine Biology by Peter Castro, which used to be one of our favorite books during our MSc days. But yes, this is a little complex, perhaps on the higher level for those of you who've just completed 10th or are till your ninth or 10th currently. If you've completed your 12th or are in your BSc days or your graduation days currently, you would definitely enjoy reading through this book. But yes, the original edition is a little expensive. It's a very, very colorful book. So I don't have an original edition of this, but we used to have it in our university library. So just glancing through the pages used to be very, very inspiring for us. So do make use of all that. And one more thing I want to mention here, children. So this is again from my personal experience. During our MSc days, in our last semester, in the fourth semester, it comprised of 4 semesters or 2 years, our MSc Marine Biology course. So in our final semester, we were taken for a field trip to a very exciting place, which was Lakshadweep, which is an island which is considered part of Kerala. And our journey was on a ship, on a normal ship. It wasn't a luxurious cruise ship or anything. It was a normal ship because we are students. We cannot afford to spend lakhs or even 10,000s on cruise ships yet at that point of time, right? So it was a normal, reasonably charged ship. And we went there, we stayed there for about 5, 6 days, if I'm not wrong, and we visited different islands. And the most exciting part for us was that we were taken for scuba diving and snorkeling. Of course, it was an optional thing. If at all you wanted to go for it, you could. If not, no. So many of us did not know swimming even at that point of time. But even then, we learned how to get into snorkeling, how to snorkel, and how to get into scuba diving. There were people to guide us. There was nothing scary about it, and we just wanted to be underwater all the time. We just did not want to come out. And to see that in Lakshadweep, the water bodies are all maintained so clean and tidy, really made us think a lot about the sad plight of the water bodies in our country, India. So, as responsible biology students, as responsible citizens of the country, as responsible next generation youth of the country, I definitely want all of you to think about it. Isn't it high time we paid enough attention to our water bodies and stopped dumping garbage and all sorts of waste matter into the aquatic bodies? Because there is a whole new world that's awaiting us if we actually explored it. That was actually the point of time when we fell in love with the subjects, and we were all like, oh, why were we taken for this field trip only in the fourth semester? We should have been taken for it in the first semester itself, and we would have fallen in love with the subject just like that. Because practical experience sadly is not so much considered to be an important aspect in Indian universities. Of course, we have a lot of amazing teachers, but somehow in our education system, practical experience like that, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, my personal opinion, should be a little more part of school curriculum and even undergraduate curriculum, so that children get to understand what they really love and get into more about it. Okay. Yes. Now, like I told you in my previous video on, do I really want to become a doctor? How do you decide if you really want to become a marine biologist? First off, you should have a love for oceans. Yes. And do you have the curiosity and passion to learn and explore? Because being a scientist, being a marine biologist, there is a lot that you will have to keep learning, you will have to keep exploring. Do you have that amount of curiosity and passion? Do you have a steady hand to handle lab equipment? Very important again. And one more thing I would like to add here, are you comfortable working with microscopes and other such lab equipments? Yes. Are you a team worker? Because being a marine biologist, you may have to go on various cruise ship expeditions and various sampling trips so that you could collect samples for your relevant experience, for your relevant experiments. You may have to work as a team. You may have to go as a team. Are you a good team worker? And are you an independent thinker, or do you just get influenced by what someone else says, thinks, or believes? You must be an independent thinker if you really want to become a scientist, especially if you want to become a marine biologist. Of course, there are a lot more that we could probably list out, but from what I thought, these will definitely give you a basic idea about whether you really or actually want to become a marine biologist. I think even in the cartoon Peppa Pig, my regular students, I think, would know that I talk a lot about cartoons in my videos because I really love imagining in a cartoon manner and watching them because it improves your creativity a lot and it's absolutely a stress buster. So in the cartoon Peppa Pig, there are a few episodes where Peppa Pig and her family visit Peppa's friend Kylie Kangaroo in Australia, and Kylie Kangaroo's mom is a marine biologist, and they go on a submarine to visit the coral reefs which are underwater and everything, the environment underwater. That also just came to my mind, which is why, I mean, I should have told you this when I told you about SpongeBob also. Anyway, that's about it from my side for today, children. If at all you found this useful, please do remember to hit the like button. More importantly, please do remember to share it with anyone you think would find this useful. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel Vedantu 9 and 10, because in the coming days, especially in the lockdown days, we have a lot of amazing content in store for you. So do not miss out on that. The only way to ensure you don't miss out on that is to subscribe to our channel Vedantu 9 and 10. And for any queries, please feel free to reach out to me at my email ID provided here, ambika.gopalakrishnan@vedantu.com. Okay, so until we meet again with yet another very interesting topic, this is Ambika signing off. So do remember to stay home, stay safe, and take care. Bye bye.